Now, over at Venezia FC, they have a very unique branding strategy from the kits to social media and partnerships. It's really redefining how fans engage with the club. This is a creative vision to build fans, but what trends are you seeing when it comes to viewership?
Well, that's right. I think when you look at football globally, it's an incredibly popular sport, but there's a hierarchy. You have some of the biggest clubs in the world, the Manchester Uniteds, the AC Milans. Brands like Venezia, we're trying to challenge those brands, break through, become larger, connect with communities around the world, and we have to find innovative ways to do that. And of course, you start with the sport, the passion for the sport of football. As you touched on, the platform of Serie A, it's globally super interesting. There's a huge history in the league. And then what we try to do is build on that platform and find new ways of connecting with consumers. And so what you're seeing with Venezia, for example, around fashion, we really tie into the city of Venice, the architecture, the history, the culture. If you think of the Biennale and the film festival, we try to tap into that. And I think this is part of a larger trend where sports and culture and entertainment are merging as we try to reach consumers in a different way.
I want to take note of the stadium that's going to be built. Of course, Venezia plays at Stadio Penzo. This is iconic, but logistically challenging, but it is in the works to be modernized. And I'm reading here that a new stadium is expected, construction to start this year with delivery in 2027. Now, here in Hong Kong, we just launched our new stadium known as Kai Tak Sports Park, and that really has, it's world class. I was in there myself for the Rugby Sevens just recently. But what I want to ask is, how do you basically preserve the history while meeting modern standards while bringing the club to a new home?
Well, that's the big challenge. For those of you who've never been to Venice, it's a lagoon, it's a series of islands, it's really a walking museum. And at the very far end of that lagoon, past St. Mark's Square, is a 10,000-seat stadium that's been there since the 1920s. It's one of the oldest stadiums in Italy. You arrive by Vaporetto, it's incredibly romantic. On the other hand, it's a very difficult stadium to reach. Most of our fans are on the mainland. Fans traveling from abroad have to take a boat to get there or a long walk. And fans expect more modern experiences. When you look at what's happening, as you mentioned, in Hong Kong, new stadia, Singapore did it 10 years ago, Tottenham in the UK, all of these venues are investing significant assets, significant capital to be able to improve the guest experience, improve the fan experience, and also improve the way the sport looks and feels. And so what we're trying to do in partnership with the City of Venice is build a new stadium, which will seat about 18,000, nearly double the capacity of our current stadium. Modern amenities, it'll be right next to the airport, so you can still go into the City of Venice, touch that heritage, feel the history of the city, but just have a much more convenient fan experience. But you're right, that's the big challenge, is how do we respect the history and the culture of the city while moving forward?
A huge trend that we are watching, and we see how it is incorporated into people's lives, is artificial intelligence. Has this creeped into the world of football?
It's more than creeping in. It's a very active part in sport now. I think if you look at it and break down in two segments, first on the sporting side, on the technical side, our scouts, our technical staff, our coaches are using AI to assess our opponents, to understand patterns of play, basically using those tools to be able to break down video and other data sources to be able to evaluate how the team is performing and how to prepare for the games up against the opposition. And then on the consumer side, on the fan side, of course, there's all kinds of ways that the fans connect with the club. Historically, if you think of 20 years ago, if you're a fan of Serie A football in Hong Kong, you were watching the game maybe if you stayed up very late at night, or you woke up the next morning and read about the report on the news, or read in your newspaper. Today, everyone's using apps, they're engaging in different ways, and so there's very strong tools with AI to cut highlights, to do them in specific Asian languages. So it's basically delivering a much more personal experience for the fan.